So we've tried to record our Who Are We? Like 5 times now.
Uh-huh. Oh, we should talk about when we met. Versus like giving some like resume CV / medical diagnostic workup. We should talk about how we met. We can incorporate some of those things, right?
Yeah.
Not to stomp on your idea.
No.
Okay.
It's flexible. It's good.
Okay. I like talking about that.
Okay.
You want me to talk about it?
You do it so well.
Oh, really? Okay. So, Erin and I are both behavior analysts, and we were at a state conference here in Florida back in 2017. And I was with the company that I was working for at the time, and like all of my colleagues there, and just having a blast. A wee bit tipsy, just a couple of drinks in. And it was
I wish
really
I could get
busy.
an actual number of what that was.
Well, you know me. I'm a lightweight, so it couldn't have been that many. I would have been like stumbling, and I wasn't. So anyways, it was really busy, and I was sitting at the bar, and I'm like waiting to get the bartender's attention so that I could buy another drink. And I turn around, and there is this person across the bar looking at me. Like I like turn around and I like made
I'll
eye
give some
contact
perspective in a
with you,
second. Just,
right? That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
I was
know.
kind of standing in a chair, so.
Were you? Because it looked like you were sitting to me. But anyways,
I think I was like, I'll
you were
explain.
sitting, and there were these like 2 or 3 guys that I remember standing next to you, and y'all, I can't remember who did it, waved me over.
It wasn't me.
And then I saw you go, like some like sorry type expression, like I don't know. But I was like super intrigued, so I dashed over and I sang some karaoke songs with you, and we became Facebook friends, and the rest is history.
And then best friends. Okay, that's the night. Here's my perspective.
Okay.
You were with your friends having a great time. I was alone with my crossword puzzle
At the bar.
at the bar,
Which I love.
which is not like, oh, lonely me. Like, that was purely by choice. Like, that was my... Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I guess, and I think it was yours too, the first, like, big conference that we had ever really been to and embraced the culture that is just alive and well at these conferences. And a lot of that involves, like, late night drinking. And
Karaokeing at this particular one.
so we're at this little bar in Daytona Beach. And the lady, like, the working, had no idea what to do. Because this was, yes, supposed to be karaoke, but I really don't think they knew what was about ready to hit them. Because your whole company came and flooded the bar. Prior to you all showing up, there was a group of, I don't know what sort of work they did. But it was the type of work that involved meeting clients at bars and buying people a bunch of drinks and food. And I remember their tab running up to like $1,000. I remember that. And they all had to split it on their cards, and they were freaking out because they were just buying people drinks left and right. And like, anyway, so these guys, they were there before you all arrived. And I honestly don't, like, none of that was really important. But I remember one of the guys saying that, I guess they were trying to find chicks to meet at the bar, which is not my scene at all. And they were talking about the guy over there who was like the smooth talker who was going to go away with it. And I hate even saying this because it's like, but he would always go home with like the hottest girl. Okay. And he was like the quiet one. He wasn't the outgoing one, but he was like the smoothest one, right? And so his friend, I don't even remember any of their names, was telling me this, and so I was like, well, I'll help you find somebody. And so like I stood up on the chair. I don't think I like stood, but I think I was like knees on the bar stool, like up looking. And that's when you turned around, and I was like, well, there we go. And that's how we met. Was I was trying to hook some random guy up,
which I didn't
that I met
know.
with you.
I definitely didn't hook up with any random guys.
Good for you.
Thank you.
But anyway, that aside.
That was the night we met. It was great. It was
We
fun.
sang karaoke together. We connected the next day.
Realized we have a lot in common.
Yep.
Yeah.
We continued to talk, and we wanted to do like research together and continue to go to school. And we started a
Yes.
Facebook group together 3 days later that has become like, one of my proudest things that you and I have done together.
Yeah. Me too. And I almost think it's because we did it like so quickly, you know? I don't know. You were different, and it wasn't, I mean, I definitely thought you were cute and all that, but like I very quickly realized that you were married, and so that was, not my motivation, but there was, I don't know, there was a connection that was just different and safe, I guess.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I provided like a source of support for you for kind of what you were going through at the time with one of your kids.
You did.
But yeah, we were best friends. Like, that's it,
We started a PhD program together after we met. It was a couple months later.
It was that January, so we met in October. And then it was that January that we started school together, and that was another source of connection. But for real, like, no matter who doesn't want to believe it or has different opinions or anything, it was like purely, like we were best friends.
It was.
Until my marriage ended. And then even after that. And then I think there was a turning point, and honestly, in hindsight, like, I don't know
Where that happened.
what it was or where it was. We could talk about the night where we both kind of like, where you kind of confessed that it was like, oh shit, like I have deeper feelings and all of that. But
Right.
I don't know, I think one of the strongest parts of us is that literally we just enjoyed each other. We have such a foundation.
Built on really like a very strong friendship that was very honest and authentic, and I don't know, I think for me when I say safe, it's like, I don't know, there was no threat with you, like you were accepting, you were open, you were not trying to like hook up with me, and it was just like a actual true friend who had more to offer than just what's on the surface, and wanted to talk about behavior analysis and could talk about that
That was
stuff.
my favorite thing, was that it wouldn't be these random text messages like, hey, what's up? It would be these like really pointed questions that made me think very deeply, and it would all be around like what we were learning about or what you were reading about, and so for me it was a source of connection, like intellectually, that I really valued with our friendship.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yep. Yeah, so we have a lot in common. We were the same weight when we were born. I recently learned that, and I just am boggled by it. I mean, 8 pounds, 15 ounces. That's such a specific and unusual birth weight.
Are there usual birth weights?
Yes, it's like 6 to 7 pounds is the normal. Like,
But I'm saying,
most
like,
people
everybody's
fall in that
everybody's
range.
born with like a pound per ounce, pound point ounce, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
isn't everyone specific?
Everyone is specific. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so specific, but it's also outside of the normal range of like birth weights. Like we
We're
were
both
fat
massive babies.
babies, We discovered right away that we were both atheists. We're both behavior analysts, obviously. Our birthdays are close together. I'm a year older than you are. We both have ADHD, though very different presentations, which is really funny. It actually, I think, kind of works for us.
We make it work.
Yeah, if we had the same presentation, I don't know,
Yeah.
either wouldn't get much done or we would like go nuts getting everything done. So, yeah.
You're like one of the biggest sources of support for me when I came out. You were the person that I was able to go to talk about, regardless of whether or not it was competitive. Like, you always listened. Not competitive, repetitive. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's those words again.
Yeah. No, I felt like that was a huge privilege for me. Like, I really took that very seriously because you don't open up to a lot of people. And I knew that because it took you a long time to open up to me. And so when you finally did, it was like something I really cherished. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that was how we met.
yes, and we've been together as a couple for a year and a few months. May, right?
We'll do like date math very well. So
Yeah, a year and 4 months.
No.
Oh, and we've been living together for 9 months, 10 months. Right? December, like the very, very beginning of December. And we're September, so about 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we have known each other for almost 3 years. Which is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think that our lives have influenced each other so much that we're better people because of that.
Definitely.
And I don't know. Again, like I said, people who never met us in real life and never experienced us together, and even people who probably did, they thought something was going on, you know, but...
Understandably. Like, I can't fault people for assuming that because
Well...
we were best friends. Like, people, it's easy to make that jump, and it's so prevalent. I mean, it's so prevalent for that to happen. And had it happened, honestly, like, that happens. Affairs
Right.
happen, and they're not always a bad thing, in my opinion.
Right.
So I get it. I get why that assumption gets made, but it definitely wasn't.
No.
case.
Like, day one, I was like, here are my kids, watch this adoption video. I was like very proud of my family.
Yeah, you were.
You know, I
very
talked
much.
about them all the time. They were very much a part of every conversation that we ever had.
Yep.
Just like your kids were,
I
you know,
know.
with me. I remember you going on, you were like texting me that you were going to go on a date with somebody. I was like, well, here's, you know, call me if you need a bailout or something like that. Like, that's what kind of friend we were. Not that you did that, but, you know,
Right.
there was
Definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do. I see why
Mm-hmm.
people see that.
Yeah, I think in the beginning too, when we first when our friendship turned into a relationship, it was like, oh my gosh, people are gonna think that we've been like having an affair this entire time, and we were afraid of that. But really, it hasn't even been a thing. It really hasn't. Like in our community, within our friendships, with other people, like everybody was so warm and like embraced us being together, you know, so completely that it hasn't even been an issue. So if that is a thought, then, you know.
I think for me there was like a shifting point, and it was very soon after like my marriage ended, you know, where you had really helped me work through a lot of that stuff in the times where I was like the most lonely, you know, or sad or whatever it was, you know, and you never like tried to convince me one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think there was a point where it's like, you know, I realized that you were this person to me. And I remember texting you, and I was like, don't take this the wrong way. But it's like I think I used the word soulmate or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or did I say like friend soulmate or something like that?
Yeah.
Because it's just like I couldn't, like I just felt this deep connection to you that you know, that does not happen ever. And it's like I can't fathom not talking to you like this every day. To, you know, at that point you Zoomed with me because I was lonely. I was staying at my parents' house and we did like homework together. It was like I can't fathom not having that. And I think having the ability to explore that and the freedom to do that, I don't know. I never let myself go anywhere. You know, it was a commitment to family and to marriage and all of that stuff. And I don't know. It's the weirdest thing to try to explain.
I know. I think for me, when I think back on it, it's like you defined that transition period from friendship to relationship, and like discovering and like identifying feelings and all this, and it, like as a like opening the floodgates, because it was just like it rushed in. And I think what was happening is like the foundation was being built in a very positive way, you know, but because it was real. Like I wasn't, I mean, of course I cared what you thought about me, because I,
Right.
you know, we care about what people think, but I don't know, I wasn't so consumed with that because you were some prospective partner for me, like I would have been, you know, that we got to know the real people here without all of the superficial bullshit that happens.
That was so nice.
Yeah, and that is like a solid foundation to start from.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But whatever. I'm glad we're here now.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Aw, you're so cute.
However it happens. I'm really glad that actually it wasn't an affair, because I think I would be super insecure, like in a relationship. You know, even though I say like affairs are not always a bad thing, and I believe that sometimes you need that in order to get out of something really bad, or, you know, whatever, a dead relationship. You know, I don't think people should stay in something that's not working or going to work. But I think I would be really insecure, like in our relationship, had that happen, and worried, you know.
No way.
I know.
Sorry, I know that took you a hot minute to get.
Oh, this hair.
Fixed.
Oh my gosh, I've totally forgotten.
Lovely. Love how I just